from Better Homes and Gardens.
Next up on 7.
It's the question many are itching to have answered. Why do mosquitoes target some of us more than others? How you smell, the colour of your clothes and even what you drink could all play a part.
They're known as a nuisance, but this year they pose a very real threat.
Any of those mosquito-borne diseases can cause really significant health problems for you.
South Australia's wetter and warmer summer providing the perfect breeding ground for mosquitoes and their viruses.
The areas we're most concerned about mosquito-borne disease is where you have abundant mosquito populations, wetlands and also wildlife.
But why do some of us get bitten and others left alone?
The sweeter the blood, the more they're attracted to you.
Maybe something sweet in the blood.
Researchers say that's a myth. In fact, it's all about how you smell.
We think it probably is because they've got slightly stinkier skin. Maybe your skin smells a bit more like the animals that mosquitoes would prefer to bite.
Like birds, kangaroos and even farm animals.
When our skin smells a little bit more like a cow, we're more likely to be bitten by a mosquito.
Some experts say mosquitoes are attracted to black as well as bright and dark colours. Beer is also thought to attract unwanted attention.
But that doesn't mean that skipping the beers will protect you from mosquito bites. You still need to put on mosquito repellent.
In just the last 2 months, there have been 2 urgent health alerts issued regarding deadly mosquito-borne diseases detected right here in SA. And with no cure or vaccine for these viruses, experts warn protecting yourself from getting bitten in the first place is the best way to stay safe.
Try and avoid being outside at dawn and at dusk. So in those twilight hours, if you need to be, then cover up. And in the areas that you can't protect from the mosquitoes, put on a repellent.
Rosie Barnett, 7 News.
Good advice. Now it's time for more on the weather. And Amelia's down at the garden tonight. How's it all looking, Mills?
Jane, the crowd's really been building in the past hour or so, and thankfully the stifling heat we've seen this week is moving on. Now, also this week we've been checking out some of the best ways to keep kids entertained around Adelaide, and tonight we went straight to an expert, kids performer Mulcahy Mouse, on how you can do it during fringe season here.
Get your nose into the program and check out all the different shows that are on for kids. There's so many things for children from babies right up through to teenagers, and you can all have a fantastic time as a family.
Good advice. Mulcahy Mouse's Baby Disco Dance Hall is one of around 50 shows here in the garden this season. Right now it's 28 degrees, but before that cool change arrived, we hit a top of 36.7 just before midday after yet another hot night. Across the state, top temperatures were above average in central and eastern districts, but below average in our west. Tadjuna hit a top of just 24 degrees, as that's where the change began today. It's being driven by a low pressure trough that'll keep heading northeast overnight. A ridge of high pressure will take us into next week. Interstate and Melbourne will see the change tomorrow, up to 29 degrees beforehand, with showers on the way for Sydney. Back home, still hot across our far north. Dry storms are a chance there and about the far west, and there's just a slight chance of a shower across the south. 26 is the top for Port Lincoln, 33 for Port Augusta and Clare, 30 in Kadina, 35 in Renmark, 25 in Mount Gambier. In the city, down to 17 overnight. There's just a slight chance of a shower about the northern suburbs in the morning. Then a mostly sunny day, 29's the top. On Metro Waters, south to southwesterly afternoon sea breezes reaching 25 knots north of West Beach, with seas to 2 metres. And surf-wise, a tiny wave on the mid, with better options at Victor and especially over at Yorks this weekend. Looking ahead, 26 is the top Sunday before a couple of cool days from Monday, with some much cooler nights in the mix as well. Now, let's take a look at tonight's ray of sunshine. And we've got an actual Ray tonight. Ray Goldie has been giving up his time to help at Parkinson's SA in Unley for 3 years. He runs the men's group and volunteers on the reception desk.
He's welcoming, he gives people the correct amount of information that they need, because often when people are newly diagnosed, they're a bit nervous and scared. And so having someone at reception with Parkinson's, I think, settles people a lot.
Any small job we can do, it takes some of the pressure off the rest of the staff and that are here. It makes it easy for them.
Ray says he loves the relief on people's faces when he tells them about the help and services on offer too. So a big shout out to Ray, tonight's Ray of Sunshine, Jane.
Good on him. Thanks, Amelia. That's all the news for this Friday night. I'll have updates later, and you can also stay up to date 24/7 at 7news.com.au. But for now, on behalf of the Adelaide team, good night.
Do-do.